Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8.52. We are facing a few revolts around the British Empire, including our Northern Irish possessions. Since I just said that, it's an interesting concept, Northern Ireland. Don't know how many of you are familiar with the history there. They were having some problems with some groups of Scots and a few other people, and I sort of kind of decided to well, I don't know how much I should go into this just because it's off topic. Move the Scots, or some of them, to sort of colonize in Ireland and in Ulster. And these were Protestants, and they were moved into Ireland. Then, and of course the local Irish weren't happy about that. Now, jump forward many years, you have the situation of Ireland fighting for its independence, but you have in the north here, not the English wanting so much to keep possession of parts of Ireland, but you have the situation that in this area of Ulster, a very strong majority that wants to stay part of the United Kingdom because they're not Irish Catholic. They see themselves either associated with Scotland or associated with England, and so they wanted to remain part of that. So when Ireland got its independence, this region was kept as part of the United Kingdom. I wonder how much, because again I say that they wanted to keep it, the little extra red stripe elements to the crosses there are the cross of St. Patrick. Obviously they'd have to change the British flag if they gave up this part of Ireland. So I don't know if there's something to that or not. And sort of not that they didn't want to change the flag, but sort of their sort of identity as the United Kingdom of the British Isles. They weren't talking about Man and Skye and a few other the Outer Hebrides as isles, but Ireland and Britain as the two islands. So if you believe in not just like 51%, but it's 60, 70, depends on birth rates and when you're talking, majority rules, then this should clearly be part of Britain. If you're an Irish nationalist and want all the Ireland united, then you want to see it as part of Ireland, so you get the conflict ongoing there to this day. Okay, we've got Delhi, which is an important major city. Back under control. All these revolts. Obviously these revolts are much out of scale compared to what was going on historically, but other than simply just raising revolt risk to disrupt excuse me, production and such, we don't have a good way of modeling it. You know, a few hundred people out doing something that, okay, I wanted to, because it's just taking so long. No, they don't fit. Okay, well, Well, now they do. Now it's there, I don't know. Just these garrison units are moving so slow. I wanted to... Okay, deep battle doctrine has advanced, so our military think tanks, basically I think it would be Sandhurst. We're gonna mostly at least focus on 1937 tax. Oh, okay. Probably a typo in the... Bet you that maybe that extra one on the end wasn't supposed to be there or something. Air Force, we recommend forming... Okay, we'll go with that. Now, did that put them in the production queue? No. Put them on the map, I gather. Okay. So we have this sort of elite air group, I gather, here. Of course, I'm not here, but we'll see how these work out. I believe they've gotten rid of the command ships. It didn't work out so well. And let's see here. War games offer. War games. If all armed forces show their skills, everybody will know the nation's power. Okay, we sort of, yeah, we have the money, we have the supplies. Okay, I don't like the reduction overall, but okay. Ruling party supports increased, officer recruitment's increased, that's good, we'll take that. And... yes, we'll start out with a fleet exhibition. We'll do that. And before maybe it goes away, we'll also get the military parade out of the way. That's taking a lot of our stuff. And the Second London Naval Treaty. Okay, due to the threat posed by Italy, Japan, and Germany, it is agreed that the Second London Naval Treaty should be henceforth scrapped. We have now, we have to now prepare our warships for the new balance of power and the new threat to our Navy. As I know I've ranted about it earlier, the idea of reducing your Navy amongst good, nice, reasonable nations via treaty is silly when you have the actual fact of hostile nations building up their fleets. 37 definitely the Germany was increasing its fleet, but Italy and particularly Japan were doing much more so. Now, okay, well, we have a lot of extra coal, but we have a lot of extra steel. Now, are we importing steel? So we could stop, because I'm looking at the money here, and I want to, and I would prefer not to be exporting supplies. Okay, so we are 74 plus, so I don't think we need that. How big is this? 3. Well, as much as we want to improve our relations with them, I think we're going to. And I know it's just a very small fraction of money, but we're importing energy from Denmark. Well, we don't need to do that anymore. Also, fuel, which is probably the, well, let's see how things change here after. After canceling those trade, okay. At least now we're in the positive zone. And supply production, we're still considerably in the positive zone. Uh-oh. We're getting a lot of these. Jerusalem, okay. Oh, these are bad. I know I said do your worst, and I know I can handle them, but... Okay. Alright. Moving these guys to the other side of the river so we don't get river crossing penalties. No problems in Ireland? No, not at the moment. Let's look at our Far East just to make sure we're not having something going on there, and let's look at other parts of Africa again. Just to make sure. Sort of contained, okay. Give them money in exchange for fuel. Now we're trying to build up our money again. Yeah. See, these are the things that I removed from Third Reich event, or from the last playthrough. Just because, not that they didn't happen, but they didn't happen at least my understanding at this frequency, scale, generally speaking. That, yes, if you look at the British Empire, a lot of oddball stuff was going on way out in the boonies, but armor unit training. Okay, we'll let that continue. Romania. No, we're trying to build up our... No. Oh, now you're out of supplies waiting for fuel. Okay, because we want to help out Republican Spain. Okay, now let's see. We still should have... I had to... I'm still moving here. It's a patrol. We have some fleet assets. Oh, there they are. Didn't see them. Okay. I had them stop here because for a while we didn't control the Suez and would have taken them a long time to get somewhere. Free base. Okay, these guys aren't even moving, they're negative moving. This is a political leader? Well. Okay, industrial advance, that's good. Lowers manpower, but really increases ICs. Okay, well, we pushed all those out of 37. Well, since we did so well with naval air power in the last game, we will continue that trend because, hey, we're an island nation that has many islands and wants to control the sea, so we'll do that. Okay, more. I do think this is much more than any AI gets, but that's fine. Oh, down here. And Let's see, defensive positions. And there are flying boats. Okay. Okay. Fighter focus. And we'll also do the bomber. In Brazil, we give them money for fuel. No, thank you. We're going to rebuild up our money. How's production doing? Only producing 1.5 factories or something. Okay, well. We're back down to, well, a little below 6% there. No, thank you. Very good, finally. So we can get closer down to here. Very well, good. We're taking those down. Now they're out of fuel. Till supplies catch up. No, let's send supplies straight to Angola. Okay. We're going to manually do that. We'll let the trade. Dover. That'll directly get supplies into there. Man, they're really giving us this going on. I hope it doesn't continue the whole game, because I'm gonna really have problems if I've got to chase down people all over India. Okay, we do need to increase our fuel some, because it's being a bit of a problem. So let's see, who could we buy fuel? It would be the U.S., I guess. Nope, they don't want to sell fuel. What about Canada? I know they're all either, no, they're in a negative. Australia's a long ways away, and well, let's see about that. No. Well, I was looking at supplies, not fuel. Supplies. Oh, boy. Yeah, supplies is just stuff lost in the... Still not used to these new symbols, people. So I'm getting a little confused. It's not because of old age or anything like that. Oh, partition of India and Burma. Burma will no longer be a puppet. Regiments rise up in revolt. Well, I guess so. Not sure that I like that, but okay. I think that should be, well, I guess obviously I know I didn't have to click on it, but I didn't wanted to see what was going to happen. Oh good, we got some blueprints from Japan. Amphibious unit training to level 2. Well, that's good. I think we'll just let them take care of both of those. Not really upset about these revolts because it sort of gives us something to do, but let's look at and see, and we got $13 extra spies. Who might we get interesting text from? US. Let's do some operations in the US there. Crude oil. No, not from national Spain. We don't want to help them out. How are they doing? Oh, wow. Look at that. The Republicans are doing quite well. Seeing how often by this time they're shrinking down to some little enclaves. Obviously their capital's still right on the front line, but they've taken, looks like, full care of their rear. That's still sort of nationalist. They have the little port there. But if they can do that, we could end up with a nice republic in Spain as an ally. That would make this an interesting game. You know, I know some of you wanted me to go off in various directions, and others wanted me to go more or less historical, and I do want to go more or less historical. But this would be an interesting what-if change, and we could see how we play it. Could be good. Okay, medical advance. Too bad they don't have dentistry advance, but then, you know, wouldn't be England otherwise. I don't know why the penalties for that there. Why are the penalties for organization? Oh, okay, maybe that's to offset the bonuses there. Okay, that actually sort of makes a little sense. Because if we're improving carriage design, which I would say means you can move guns in and out of action quicker and easier, and transport them easier, lighter. And so you're getting a 2% improvement there, and there you're getting a, what's it, 1.6 negative total for the next one. So this is a net gain, so we could specialize out and keep the barrel, and this is, you know, some degree artificial, but artillery barrel and ammunition, I guess they more so now that we have, less so now that we have the sort of light, medium, and heavy artillery. But before, the sort of hearts of iron theory was that various of these improvements got bigger and bigger guns, sort of justified their improvement. But so you could skew out if you wanted to make them much more. So we're going to do that one first. Much more transportable. Well, we're down to 4%. Hopefully, to some degree, that's tied in with those revolts that we've been having that they check for. Revolt risk levels, and okay, these guys we're going to send them up here to deal with the guys in the mountain. Okay, national. Bringing the battleship Duke of York, yes. Still very unpleased with this. I'm not saying it's not historical, but I'm just very unpleased with this. We need a lot of reinforcements now that we've had casualties, so might as well, I guess, just go bye-bye to all new production. We couldn't even do any of this stuff. That just seems... Don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be able to spam a huge amount of ICs that I'm used to as Germany. Maybe I'm just picking the wrong something or others, I don't know. But Britain was building naval production. They were doing some other stuff, so even if I was producing these things and not producing any ICs, it's still, I don't know, as you can tell. Not used to playing this country. And yes, this is peacetime. This isn't Nazi Germany building up in preparation for the war, but they were still building some practical stuff, so. Oh god, these guys are hardly moving at all. No. Now attack as soon as you can. Can't move it. Can we move to here? No. So we'll have the river crossing penalty. Well, okay, yes. And now we're putting some back into some level of factory production. No, I'm not really complaining about having to do the reinforcements, because that is producing rifles, bullets, trucks, and other things. Now you're out of fuel. Instead of producing more equipment, but just my thoughts on these things. Happy to have any of you chime in on you agree, disagree on British gameplay, or if like I've said, if you played know I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. I would appreciate that. Okay, submarine naked. Hey. Go over to torpedoes, torpedo tubes. As I'm playing this, I'm thinking of, like I mentioned in previous episode, Dorothy L. Sayers books, various movies that were released in 1937. I think, oh boy, I have to look at maybe some Hitchcock stuff. It could all make great events. What was it again? Great War Analysis. Okay, well, that's grayed out, but I thought we were doing a bit of a deficit, yeah, so. Alright. So now we've analyzed all of the Great War and figured out how to better build defenses to deal with the Great War. Unfortunately, we're not going to be fighting Great War, so we're going to be fighting a mobile war. So, of course, attritional warfare. And we're going to let that go. And for the most part, as Britain, we won't be fighting an attritional warfare. Armor unit command and control, we'll let that continue. Mountain infantry activation, great. Now we're going to do mountain warfare equipment, which will make our mountain troops that much better. Especially dealing with rugged terrain, like in Burma. Because we'll see how this all works out with having this as a sort of independent state situation. And like I talked earlier about it, that Burma sort of was its sort of part of India, sort of separate. I don't know the political changes exactly in this period, but money for fuel. What are we doing for fuel? Okay, I'm okay for money too. So, but what is good about this as a gameplay aspect is to create something that will better set up to defend against Japan from the AI's perspective, instead of because what I'm thinking of is they'll have a threat from somewhere else and move all the forces somewhere else, and then Japan would just walk through. Which technology was that again? Oh, short barrel. Oh, I'm seeing barrels. I'm thinking artillery. Okay, well, infantry support tank. That would be the Matilda, wouldn't it? It really looks like it's a Valentine, but no, that's more like Cromwell. Sorry, Cromwell, Valentine. Not that great on British tank identification. No, I don't know. Let's improve our anti-tank and AA ammunition. Fuel. Yes, we'll do this as well. We'll order it. Put it in the production queue. Not produce it. For now. Intending to have a powerful Royal Navy as a means of opposing the Germans. Okay, begin the Great Officer Purge. Okay, now, as we've talked about earlier, the show trials were public justification for removing of significantly high-ranking officers, and Stalin's attempt to maintain power via fear. Stalin's paranoia increased. Numerous power struggles between lesser men were dangerous to his leadership. 3 major and dozen smaller purges. This just basically, 14 of the 16 army commanders, approximately half of the 70 to 80,000 men in the entire officer corps. This just really, I don't know if I can hardly overstate it, but messed the Soviet army up and allowed Germany to get as far as it did. if you were any, if you were any sort of a dynamic leader, not that you were maybe even any way questioning the state or any sort of appearance of that, just that you were sort of popular. Those are the people they targeted. If you were sort of the creepy, weird type guys, those are the people who they wanted to keep in charge because they had little or no leadership skills and relied upon their power and authority via the state as opposed to their inherent leadership. So you ended up with either the, like I say, sort of some of the creepy and weird type, and I'm also thinking NKVD type, Cheka type commissars running around, as well as those that were just going along to get along, wouldn't stick their neck out for anything. If they saw that their maintenance schedule, their plans, or anything was sort of screwed up that was sent down to them, and tried to sort of fix it, those people, if they tried to fix it, those are the people that were gotten rid of. If you just sort of like, oh, well, they say we're supposed to change the tires on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday pull them off again to do maintenance on the wheels instead of doing them both on the same day, or whatever it was. If you were that type, you just went along with whatever. Those are the people that were left after these purges. And of course, as these purges happened, they didn't all happen in a single day. As you saw that these things happened, and they continued on past 37 to some degree. Well, they did. And you learn not to shine. You learn, even if you were naturally wanting to be leadership type person, you learn not to be it to survive in the system. This is why the Finland invasion, which should have just crushed Finland, was so badly mishandled, because no one, you're wherever the plans that were drawn up, whether in St. Petersburg or Moscow or whatever, no one corrected problems. No one figured the things out well enough in advance until they were, because they would see the train wreck coming, but they wouldn't say anything about it until the train wreck happened, because you would just be questioning authority. So this is what they very much did to themselves and allowed Germany to get so far in. Okay, more colonial. Okay, we're now low popularity. And I have been working to try to do things I could to increase popularity, but internal factors are pushing against us. Okay. No, what am I? Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Never mind. Demobilize, mobilize. Okay, we're going to suppress more revolts. Mostly looks like India. These are some of the names I'm recognizing. That I think is Ireland. Maybe river crossing penalty doesn't matter with these units. It's strategically moving everybody. I know it will probably be out of fuel, but it just seems these movement rates are really slow right now. Is it mud? Yeah, it's mud. I guess that's what it may be. Okay, I think most of them are accounted for. Don't know what their fascination with Morgan Freeman is in this. Now, of course, he means something interesting to play as in being an actor, but... Okay. Well, that's going to stay rebel territory, I guess. Of course, I think this area was revolting much more than some of the other areas of India at the time. Oh, up here. Okay, well, I think we're going to take at this point to end this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please like the videos, do appreciate that, and please comment, give me some pointers. See you next time.